Hello YouTube, it is beautiful out here. I must say, ever since August 7th, since that rainstorm came, it really cooled everything down and it's so nice out here. Like, I'm happy I can come outside and I can breathe and it's not, suffocating. Like the month of July, oh my God, that was like the hottest summer we had in a long time in July. But thank God it cooled down. I don't like sweating and stuff. Back in July, you walk up the block and, it's like you gotta take a shower from walking up the block. But it's a nice breeze today. It's been really nice since August 7th. And, today is August 18th. It's a lot of birthdays this month. Some people that I used to know and then people that I know now. My father's birthday is actually tomorrow, but we're celebrating today. He want to see Spider-Man. And my son likes that stuff too, so Marvel Comics. Hopefully it should be good. So really quick, I think I did a previous video about this topic, but I'm gonna refresh y'all's memory. Comment, like, and subscribe. Comment what really makes up a person's personality. I know for me personally, I would say what made my personality is I looked at like certain people in my life and I knew I didn't want to be that, so I chose to be opposite. I chose to be positive. I want to give an example. So like and that goes for anybody in your life, teachers, parents, whatever. For the people, when I was growing up as a kid, for the people that wasn't doing well in life, I chose to not follow that because, and when I say well in life, I'm talking about health-wise, financially, not just money, but just in general. So I'm a forgiving person because I know for people who don't forgive, they have the worst health. And I know those of y'all who are my age and older, people who hold grudges and stuff, they don't really do well in life, health-wise, people who are cheap. And when I say cheap, like instead of paying their own way, they'll have somebody else do it. Those type of people never get ahead financially. Those people are always struggling. Those people are always, now everybody go through hard times, right? We're all human, we're all American. Sadly, in this economy, everybody goes through some type of hardship. But if you know somebody that's just constantly always in need, they always struggling, they always, something is wrong with that. And that could be bad karma. So just in general, and I was just thinking today, like a lot of things that I went through as a young woman, I had to deal with on my own, unfortunately. And I had my friends to help me. And I remember when I went to Kingsborough, and shout out to Kingsborough, I went to a community health program. I got a certification, and it was all women. It was like no men in the class. And we was just sharing our stories, and they was like, oh, that's not good. Your mother's supposed to, But most of our mothers, especially if you had a religious mother who never sinned, right? Because according to her, like they really do believe that they don't sin. So if you have that type of mother, when it comes to like life experience, like they can't really help you. Like when it came to college, my mother couldn't help me with that. When it came to living on my own, she couldn't give me no advice on that. When it came to paying bills, building up credit, all of that I had to literally do on my own. my father gave bad advice and was like, oh, credit don't matter, da da da, like, whatever, that's his choice. But for me, your credit score, sometimes you can't help the score because it's a lot with that. But if you cannot pay people back, pay people their money, what does that say about you and your character? What does that say about your integrity as a person, right? That's how I always looked at it. Like, so whenever I had a credit card, I would always pay it because I would never want somebody to think, oh yeah, she can't pay her bill, she can't pay her way, she can't pay her bills. Even little things like going out with friends. I'm 35 now, but even in my 20s, you would never see me step outside and I can't pay my way. Never that. I'm gonna get something according to the budget, and I'm not gonna drink as much, or, you know, bottom line, I have integrity. And I had to teach myself that. Nobody taught me that, right? I didn't have that teaching. So when people say, oh, I was raised this, it's not an excuse, because a lot of our parents, aunties, and uncles were wrong in a lot of things. So my question to everybody is, yeah, the street by me needs a street light. Like, I always be like a deer stuck in headlights on that street. But yeah, so what could you say made you who you are? And this applies to men and women. Like, I think I told y'all in a previous video, I have a homeboy who, he had no men in his life, no uncle, no father, no grandfather. And guess what? He's a very independent husband, father. He paid bills. He's a very active father. And his wife always brags about him on Facebook. And I always tell him all the time, I'm very proud of him, because he could have used that as an excuse to be a trifling man, but he chose to be a good man. Even when he was single, he didn't just sleep around, and no, he was selective in who he was with, and he's a faithful guy. He gives me hope. Like, if he cheat on his wife, I really give up on humanity. Like, he's my last hope. He really is. But you know, he didn't have a man to teach him to provide, but he's a provider. See, he didn't have a man at home teaching him anything, but he's a provider. He's a husband. He's a father. And sometimes the best husbands and fathers are the ones who had no example, because they know how it feels to not have a dad, so they know not to be like that. They learn from the opposite. And Tyler Perry said it in a play. You know, it was about a black man in a nursing home, and none of his kids was like in his life, and so he reached out to the one that he wasn't there for. He was like, when my mom died, you wasn't there for me growing up, and the kids that you raised as crackheads, and I made something of myself. Now you want my help? So Tyler Perry was like, was your mother good to you? Yeah. Did she teach about Jesus? Yeah. Did she take you to church? Yeah. Did you have a good education? Yeah. Did you have a good life? Yeah. Why are you mad? So, and that was such a good point, because you turned out good. Now you're in a position to help someone that wasn't there for you. A lot of people wouldn't do it. But yeah, what's your take on it, YouTube? Who is responsible for how you turn out? Is it nature versus nurture? I feel like we have the choice, especially in America. These other countries are different, but in America, you definitely have a choice of whoever you want to be. Now, some people feel trapped or stuck, as they say, because their families might be very strict. But at the end of the day, we all have that decision. We all make our own decisions of who we want to become.